Brought to you by 1AAuto.com, your source for quality replacement parts and the best service on the internet.
Hi, I'm Mike Green. I'm one of the owners of 1A Auto. I want to help you save time and money repairing and maintaining your vehicle. I'm going to use my 20+ years experience restoring and repairing cars and trucks like this to show you the correct way to install parts from 1AAuto.com. The right parts installed correctly. That's going to save you time and money. Thank you and enjoy the video.
In this video, we're going to show you how to replace the window regulator on this 2000 Ford Mustang. Pretty much the same as any 94 to 04. We do the passenger side. The driver's side is a similar procedure. If you're having any problems with your window, it kind of has play in it, or seems like the window stops working, or you hear some grinding or something, we always recommend you replace the motor and regulator. If your motor's not bad, chances are whatever's wrong with your regulator has put some stress on your original motor, so you're probably going to be better off just replacing the whole assembly. Tools you'll need are flat blade screwdrivers, both a regular and a large size, Phillips screwdriver, an 11mm socket and ratchet or a wrench, pliers, and you also need an extra set of hands in an assistant. First, there's actually a pin on the front side right there. Use a flat blade screwdriver. Carefully pry the clip, and then once you get to a certain point, you can pull it out with your fingers. Okay, now right in the top of this panel is a little notch. You can insert a screwdriver and lightly pry out. And once you have this out, then insert your screwdriver down here and pry up. And bring this right out. Okay, and then use a Phillips screwdriver to disconnect the switch from this panel. On this vehicle, there's 2 Phillips screws right here. If I remember from some of my past experience, there's either kind of a pin like there was down here, or a bolt. But I'm going to remove these 2 Phillips screws. Okay, and then just keep in mind there may be another fastener here as well. Okay, around your door handle, just insert a screwdriver. You want to pry the bottom first, not the top. And then pull the bottom out and then off. And up here, just with your, either use your fingers or use a screwdriver, pry that panel right off. Okay, and now your door panel lifts up. Okay, now you want to pull your water shield back, and you want to do this slowly and carefully. Just make sure you don't rip it. Okay, so you can see with my window down in this position, which is basically about 2 inches down, you can look right through this hole and you can see a rivet right there, as well as a rivet right there. Okay, so this window regulator is riveted basically onto the window. So now here you can see this is my new regulator, and here's that track, and there's the holes where those rivets are. Okay, now the new regulator is made just like the Ford. Okay, and normally what you would do is have the regulator in there, then lower the window down in and attach the regulator to the window. So, but that's not the case. The easiest way to do it when you're replacing
a regulator is actually to take this off the new regulator. The only time that wouldn't work is if your problem is that one of the rivets on your original regulator is broken, but that's a pretty rare occurrence. Normally it's either one of these joints has gone bad or your window motor's gone bad. Okay, so the first thing you'll want to do is actually take the new regulator apart, which basically is just a matter of bending this track. There's little indentations in the track. Just use a screwdriver, twist it in there. Okay, now go to a larger screwdriver. Okay, so now you have the regulator without that track.
Okay, since most window regulators or motors don't break in that position, I'm running it down so I can show you how to take it apart if your motor is all the way in the down position.
Your connection is right here. This is a tab. You can pry back with your thumb and pull the harness connection out, and then you want to pull this away from your door. And push it through the hole. Okay, now there are 4 bolts here, or 2 nuts right here, and 2 bolts here, and then these 2 nuts here need to come off. Okay, 11mm socket and ratchet.
I'll fast forward here as we remove those nuts and bolts. This procedure would be the same if your window motor or regulator broke in the up position as well. You just want to be careful as you take these bolts apart if your window's up, as the regulator could shift and fall down.
Now you're also going to want to take and remove this piece of weather strip pretty easy. Just kind of pry up and it comes off. Push this stud through. And lift up on your regulator. Lift up on your window. Okay. Put a piece of wood right in there to hold it up. So right here I'm just going to bend this little tab stop with my screwdriver so it's flush against the track. Okay, so there, now it's bent flat. And as well, use a pair of pliers to bend this tab up some. So once we've bent those tabs out of the way, then actually have an assistant hold the window. You can pull this piece of wood out of the way. Okay. Now lift up on the window some. Okay.
Just a note here, whenever you're lifting the window, always try and lift it nice and level. Don't let the front drop down too much or it could come out of its track.
Okay, that's good. Now you can just slide the track out and you got to kind of pull it towards the inside of the door and it comes out. And lift the window up some more. Okay. And as the window goes up more, you can actually take this arm and bend it around. You can let the window back down some. Okay, and then that comes out. Now you just have to get your regulator. Can you lift it up all the way, or is it? Okay. Now while your assistant lifts the window up out of the way, out of the door. And you want to have this basically turned this way. When you mount it, it goes like that. But to start, you want to have it like that. Put the new regulator in. You want to reach in and get your harness and make sure that you feed your harness through. Okay, so you can see here, just my harness is just fed through. Can you let the window down some? Okay, just have them let the window down so you can see the track up here. And make sure you're taking your swing arm, okay, put that in first. Okay, swing that arm that way. Now lift your regulator up, and put your second arm in. Okay, then slide it back this way, lift it up. Can you let the window down just a little bit? Up, I'm sorry, go up. Okay, that's good. Down a little bit. Okay, so I've got one of the studs through. Put a nut on. Push the other stud through. I've got both those nuts on now. Starting these two bolts. Okay. And then take this track, put it on like that. Slide it right in. And your assistant all set now?
Okay, so here I'm just going to fast forward through putting those nuts on and then tightening down the two bolts that hold the regulator and then the 4 nuts. And then I'll turn the key on and test the window.
Turn our key on. Pull this all the way through. Okay, and connect it. And your window should work. If there seems to be any hesitation at all, you want to make sure that it didn't come off track. There's the weather strip right here, but there's also a track down inside, which that's what this nut is bolted to. And the front, if you tilt your window too much at any time, the front track can come out and it'll cause it to catch. So if it does happen, what you want to do is loosen up this bolt and push that track. You'll have to reach in with your arm, push that track over, get the window back in it, and then retighten this bolt. But it looks like we're working well.
Okay, now here I will put the water shield back in place and then reinstall that upper weather strip. It just pushes right down onto the top of the door.
Okay, to put the door panel back on, what you want to do is line up your lower tabs with the slots in the door. Okay, and then kind of lift it up, put your door lock in place. I need to lift the back of the panel up just a little bit. Okay. Make sure your harness comes up through. And lift up, push your panel on. Start pushing it down in. Okay. And as you push it down in, you may see it do this. Just want to use a screwdriver and make sure that that goes down into the channel. Make sure it's down, make sure the panel is right against the door, all the way around. Okay, we can put this corner, snap that back on. The tab that goes into the front here to hold it. Okay, our 2 screws into the panel here. Again, if you had something holding it there, reinstall that. Take our switch, put it in, and turn it over. Start one screw. Take this, put it down in back here first, and push it down, lock it in place, and then your bezel, your door handle.
We hope this helps you out. Brought to you by www.1aauto.com, your source for quality replacement parts and the best service on the internet. Please feel free to call us toll free 888-844-3393. We're the company that's here for you on the internet and in person.